Well, let's find out, everybody, if that President's Trophy curse exists. Again, one more look here at the final stats from our season. Philip Klesla doing a very rare thing of scoring 50 goals in a season in this sim engine. I am hopeful. Quite hopeful indeed. Chris Bork didn't do anything in 16 games. Jesus. I'm hopeful that this could be it. This could be the run. Our defensemen put up points and also take a lot of penalties. Berglund didn't quite have 51 points again this year. But the key, of course, to this team is Jake Markstrom. A 205 goals against average, a 927 save percentage with 8 shutouts. I'm hoping this is the year. They did not. Reek, sorry to hear it, man. I'm aware of the pain of grinding out Hut like that in terms of not, no money spent in that whole deal, because I've done it for Hut series in the past, and oof, it can be devastating. Patrick Kane led the league in points. Tavares sandwiched between he and Klesla. Klesla did lead the league in goals. Apparently, Michael Grabner is a god. Good to know. Defensively, PK hit 20 goals, which is a big rarity for defensemen in this sim engine. For goalies, the winningest is Markstrom, but obviously he plays all 82 games. And for the rookies, Victor Rask, who once upon a time we tried really hard to trade for, and it didn't quite work out. But shout out to Lars Carlson, Brendan Gallagher. My pants get nothing packs. Yours is having stacked teams, not win cups. That's very fair. Astonishingly accurate. Fair play. All right. I honestly think this roster's pretty much good to go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, we can send down Bork because it wasn't playing Bork. But I mean, Alou, Mankari, Maroon. We could send him down for Brent and Skilly, but I honestly think that we're fine. We will go best lines again just to see if it changes up special teams or anything. But this is the squad. This is the squad. And hopefully, it is good enough. Put the 39 overall in. If I am leading in the Stanley Cup final, I will sign the 39 overall tough guy that we drafted and put him in the lineup. You have my word. You have my word. Let's see if the Leafs changed all that much between last season and this season. We played them in the playoffs last year, and the answer is not really. A lot of the same guys. Mike Fisher was signed. A lot of the same guys from when we played them last season. Defensively, Phaneuf and Gardner, Lyles Franzen, Gunnarsson, Hogstrom. Their goalie, Reimer and Leclerc. So very, very similar to the team that we played last year. I would like to think you have to give him the C to so he raises the cup. You got it. Game 1. Let's do it. I don't necessarily want to speed run this, but I kind of want to speed run this because this should be our year. 1-1 at the end of the first. Damon Severson and Nazem Kadri. 2-1 at the end of the second. Philip Klesla. We'll quick sim the third period. Goal apiece. Akeem Alou scores the game-winning goal. It's Joffrey Lupul with 4 seconds left. Too little, too late. And the Florida Panthers, 1 win down, 15 to go. We're not even saying like, oh yeah, the series. Like, no, we're thinking cup. 1 win down, 15 to go. Another great playoff performance for Jacob Markstrom. We did not win 59 games for no reason. This is happening. We are winning the cup this year. We're moving on to NHL 14 tomorrow. I'm calling it. Calling my shot. First period of game 2, 1-0 Leafs, Clark MacArthur. Second period, goal apiece, Matthew Lombardi and David Perron on the power play. Third period, and the Leafs win. Severson tied it, but Joffrey Lupul on the power play is the hero. That's not ideal, and it is a 1-1 series after 2. Great. Go to game number 3. Where is Kane? Where is Kessel? Like, we need our big names to start scoring a little bit more, please. Game number 3 in Toronto. First period, 1-0 Panthers. Thank you, Mr. Hot Dogs. Power play goal, it's 1-0. Second period, goalless. Third period, we called him out. Spiting me like he tried to spite Steve Simmons for all those years. Phil Kessel gets the only goals of the game. A 43 save shutout for Jake Markstrom. And we're up 2-1. Thank God for that. So we go to game number 4. Damon Severson is now tied for the lead in goals with 2. The hell? But he doesn't have any goals. That was a really weird glitch. Game number 4. Care too much about the first round. We care about the cup. First period, 1-0 Leafs. Dion Phaneuf. Second period, 2-1 Panthers. Patrick Kane and Garrett Wilson. Third period, the Florida Panthers 1 win away from moving on to the second round for the second year in a row. Another great performance from Markstrom. Garrett Wilson up there as well. Top hat, yes, Steve Simmons is not a good person. Here we go. Back on home ice. Game number 5. Can we close out this series? Let's do it. First period, 1-1. Tyler Ennis and John Michael Lyles with the goals. Second period, goalless. Third period, oh my God, we're going to overtime. Overtime. The Toronto Maple Leafs live to see another day. The second game-winning goal of the series for Joffrey Lupul. Shit. Wasted opportunity. We go back to Toronto for game number 6. I was really hoping we could make quick work of the Leafs, but apparently not. First period, goalless. Second period, 2-1 Leafs. Kuhlman and Lupul. Patrick Maroon scores for us. Third period, we are going to game 7 in Florida. It was 3-1. All right. Atkinson hasn't done much. Ankari hasn't done much. Maroon has at least scored. The other two had the assist. The bottom 6 hasn't necessarily been bad. We're not getting enough out of Havlat, who has just 1 point. We're definitely not getting enough out of David Perron. Shit, man. Oh, man, you could argue the best way to handle this, but what am I going to do? Do something dumb. We're putting our younger guys on a higher line to try and carry us. Perron, Kane, Kessel. We'll have Ennis and Havlat on the third line. Kind of spread the wealth a little bit. Oh my God. Okay. Game 7. Quite nervous because of the expectations on us this season. First period, 2-0 Leafs. Second period, 4. Please, God, let this happen. Please, God. Fuck. After a 59-win season, the Florida Panthers have been eliminated in round 1 in 7 games by the Toronto Maple Leafs. Markstrom was great. No real contributions from the defense. Havlat did nothing. Ennis and Perron weren't abysmal, but they weren't great. 1 goal for Kane. 1 goal for Klesla. I mean, Henrique called it in chat a few minutes ago. It is literally my curse. The better team we have, the more likely we are to lose. That is an incredibly harsh loss. You know, despite those 59 wins, yeah, I think we might have to change the way the team's built a little bit. Look to be a bit more well-rounded. So, yeah. Fuck. If only we had a 39 overall tough guy on the 4th line, huh? The Columbus Blue Jackets beat the Toronto Maple Leafs for the Stanley Cup. The Leafs went all the way to the Cup final. Again, the Blue Jackets were still in the West. The Columbus Blue Jackets have won the Stanley Cup. Winnipeg's still in the East, yeah. Yeah, this was the last year of that. I can't believe we lost. I cannot believe we lost in the first round. Maybe just because the wound from the 2022-23 Bruins is still so fresh. I don't know. Yeah, Winnipeg literally still behind the scenes in the coding are still listed as Atlanta. That's why they're up right behind Anaheim. So... Jordan Subban retired without playing a single game. Damn. Fuck, man. We do have a lot of draft picks again, which is a good thing because literally I'm going to leave the block completely open and say just give us offers. But heading to the trade block... No doubt in my mind, Patrick Kane and Phil Kessel. It's just too much money to dedicate to guys that can't really clutch it in the playoffs. It sucks, too, because we consistently get amazing goaltending. But it just hasn't mattered. Salak's trade value's finally dipped. That sucks. I'm actually really bummed out right now. We end up with 9, 12, 17, 26, and 30 because we had Columbus's first overall pick, or first round pick. Detroit's calling. David Perron and a first, the 30th, for 36-year-old Nick Cronwall. I mean, Perron was solid for us in the regular season. He didn't do much in the playoffs. The problem with Cronwall is that he's 36 years old. I can't do it for a 36-year-old Cronwall. I just can't. It's too much. That said, look at Kane and Kessel. Like, Kessel's our guy. If we can deal with Kane and Kessel for somebody of value. The question is, though, how many teams can even afford a Patrick Kane? And the answer appears to be very, very few. New Jersey still has Kovalchuk. They have a dude named Wallin, who's not good enough. The Islanders have John Tavares. Michael Grabner, who we know has been pretty good. Got offered Steven Stamkos for Evgeny Svechnikov in a first. Of course you take it. Depending on the game. Philly has Giroux and Voracek, both of whom are pretty expensive. Sean Couturier is an 81 at 24. Couturier might not be too bad. Coyotes have OEL and David Rundblad. OEL as an offensive defenseman might not be the worst idea. Tampa. Stamkos, Carl. How good was Griffin Reinhart? Whew! So in this game, Griffin Reinhart turns into what people were hoping he'd be. Damn. He's got a rocket of a shot, too. 99 wrist shot power, 95 slap shot. He's going to be waiting. He's going to be an RFA. He'll be leaving off of his ELC this year. Bufflin. How good's this person? 75. Ooh. 75 overall at 19 years old. 4.5-star gold.
I'm just trying to walk through this fucking
19.
grass.
MXS, thank you for the follow, by the way. McDavid's not in this game. He was eventually via roster update, but the servers are down. So we won't have McDavid until we jump to NHL 14. This dude looks insane. This dude looks insane. Even as a DFD, I think that's somebody that we back. Can hopefully send Patrick Kane out to Winnipeg. Playing 22 right now. I thought you'd wanted the eyes playing Justin Hall over Mo Seider. Sounds about right for an EA game, doesn't it? Sounds about right. How good is Frolov? Not very. It would have to be a follow-up draft pick. Strong and 2 firsts for Patrick Kane. And I will be willing to throw in later picks just to try and make sure that the deal goes through. Because if we fail, we lose the phone. And they didn't take it. Fuck. All right. Well, we do have the 9th overall pick. Based on what our scouts are telling us, Sean Zhao or David Gran. Gran's 18 years old. Russ Klubertans is a massive defenseman. Playing for the Spokane Chiefs. We're going to go for David Gran. I mean, he's a two-way forward, but he has a little bit more development time. Although Sean Zhao, let's go for this guy. Just a hunch, because, yeah, we will still have time to take the other dude, too. We'll go for Zhao and Gran. Next pickup, pretty easy. We go for Klubertans, the massive defenseman. And from there, okay, thank God, there is still a couple of guys at 3.5. Let's go for Mike Barron. We get one more first-round pick. And we'll go for Stan Milroy. Can you guess who's leading the KHL in points? He's a former Canuck and a native Russian. The fucking big-ass defenseman, whose name I can't remember. Let's see, New Jersey's calling. Ennis, Severson, and Berglund for a first and Stanley Peterson. How good Stanley Peterson? 66 and 21. He's not good enough. He's also a Shark. AJ, I don't know. Focused on trying to make this draft not be shit. Kirk Strong. Patrick Kane. Give me a first rounder next year. That's going to be way too much. Give me some second rounders this year. Nikolai Goldobin. Fair enough. Some people are just suited for the different ice. I don't know if I'm going to be able to deal Patrick Kane, to be honest. I legitimately might be stuck with him. What a world. Be stuck with Patrick Kane. My God. Playing NHL 22. I read that one, by the way. There was something else I missed. I skipped 23, might skip 24. Yeah, 24 is not really worth getting right now. You're not missing much. So don't stress it. Okay, New Jersey had Wallin, who wasn't that good. Islanders, you'd be talking about Grabner. Grabner making $6 million. That should be a steal. Should be an absolute steal. They're willing to deal their first round pick next year, too. What if we also use... Oh, man, like Salak's value really dropped. But they do want Arturi Lehkonen. Crash Andrews, we love you. Take it easy. And yeah, hopefully we get to record tomorrow. So long as you remember to post the shows once they're done. Love you. Kane, Lehkonen, and some low picks for Grabner in their first next year. Fuck. I can't deal Patrick Kane. I'm trying. It's just not happening. New Jersey's calling. Reinhart and Ennis. I don't want to get rid of Reinhart. Damn it. How am I having so much trouble dealing frickin' Kane and... Oh, God. Kessel. I mean, having Couturier as a defense first option might not be the worst. Dumba hasn't really developed. I feel like the Islanders are a damn good fit with Grabner. They just don't want to move him. Grabner in a first. For Kane. Lehkonen. Ristolainen. Give me Matt Hendricks. Who cares? We'll give up a couple of fourths. Fuck. Just can't work out a deal. We're not looking too good on the remaining player front. Not looking too good at all. Take the Hungarian Danny Fiddler in goal. Just to end up with a goalie. Let's take Toby Bodie out of Poland. Tiny DeMarchi out of China. I don't know about you. I have a ton of friends of Chinese descent named Tiny. Ton. For the love of God, can I find a place to trade Patrick Kane? I just don't know if this is possible. Jake, what's going on, man? How are you? Look at this Jones guy. 68 at 21. What was he, 4.5 though? Yeah, even then. All right, who wants Kane that can afford him? That's willing to give up a first-round pick next year. I was honestly hoping for beyond. That might be too much of an ask. Right now, as it stands, no matter what I do, I'm going to lose value on this deal. So I'm not gonna aim for it right now. He'll still be under contract, but it's a rough scene at the moment. Take a Swedish tough guy. Why the hell not? Let's go for Oleg Zharkov. Let's take 18-year-old players that'll technically have more time to develop, and hopefully some of them are half decent. If they're not, it is what it is. But man, I'm pretty bummed out that I couldn't get that that Kane deal done. Take Jesse Sampson. Boy, I feel like the last few rounds, man, it's a whole lot of enforcers. AKA tough guys, as they were known in this game. Shit for me to wear tomorrow. The fucking... Fuck, I don't know. There you go. There's the answer. Did you expect anything different? You shouldn't have. Ross Salcedo. Let's take another tough guy. An Italian, Ted Stanfield. Yes, my favorite Italian name, Ted. One pick left in the 7th round, which will go to Kurt Lassard. Whole lot of draft picks yet again. We got to hope that we hit the nail on the head with some of these, because I don't think we're bringing back Kane. I don't think we're bringing back Kessel. I feel like now's a pretty good time to kind of reassess who I want to lead us to victory here. Storm Phaneuf. Already an 82 overall at his age. To be honest, we might be able to move on from Jacob Markstrom. His vision's not that great, but everything else is looking pretty damn good for Storm Phaneuf. We got to sign him to his ELC. There's a real chance Markstrom's out the door to clear cap space. Fiddler was 2-star green. Well, that's fun. Defensively, Kulikov is a UFA. Goodbranson's an RFA. Fuck. We're playing on an actual 360. I have physical copies of all the games. Klubertons wasn't bad. I am going to let go of Weberman for now. Grant, I love you, buddy. But actually, you know what? Fuck it. Grant Weberman stays. Because I said so. It's dirt cheap anyway. Doesn't look like we stole anybody else. Dylan Hetherington, you're not going to get signed because you're terrible. Ben Harper, you're not going to get signed because you're terrible. Sam Morin, you're not going to get signed because you're terrible. I have to make a decision on Kulikov and Goodbranson. Jack Skilly's deal was up. Mark Mancari. We can keep Mancari around as a AHL level guy. Cam Atkinson. Keep you around 2 on a 2-way. Helm and Raquel looking all right. Mike Barron. Gran. I mean, we definitely have some prospects coming up through the system here. Garrett Wilson's an RFA. Can hold on to Patrick Maroon. Luka was Olnercheck. We got to hold on to Chris Bork. You know? Thank you, Crash Andrews. What a man. Second Turnbuckle podcast. Listen to it. Do it. Millen ended up being 4.5. God, we just have so many players to sort through. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Matt Mostelle can go. He didn't pan out. Bo Horvat did not pan out. Jason Dickinson. Tyler Bertuzzi. And then at center, Tim Brent's deals up. Derek Grant. A bunch of the other guys. And then Dryden Hunt didn't develop. Carter Verhaeghe, like none of these fucking guys developed. This game really is death for prospects in terms of development. It's crazy. It is crazy how bad it is. Let's advance a day. See what we got for accepted deals. Buyout penalties up to 1.6 million at the moment, so it actually jumped back up. That's gonna complicate things. Okay, so far everybody accepted. So in goal, Markstrom, Phaneuf, Comrie, Wild. Nothing else we have to worry about. Kulikov wants 5 mil. He was very, very well-rounded. Capable of 40 points. Sign Kulikov, qualify Goodbranson. We don't have to sign Clark yet. Damn. On the right, not looking that good. Yeah, I think the moves are pretty straightforward. Try to sign Dmitry Kulikov to keep our team's backbone of strong defense intact. Qualify Eric Goodbranson. Qualify Garrett Wilson, so we at least don't lose him for nothing. Brent Grant can go, at least for now. I think we're okay. But yeah, the star players got to go. We're going to turn it over to the youth. I don't think they'll win 59 games, but we might be able to build a better team then that's not so top heavy. Basically. I mean, I feel like that's what kind of cost us this past season. Kulikov did accept the extension as well, which is good. But we're going to have to work out deals for Kane, for Kessel, and that looks easier said than done right now. It also kind of depends on who's going to be available from the free agency perspective and if that kind of changes what we have going on. And I don't know if it will. I don't necessarily know if anyone's going to be there that we want. We can see. All right. Change the trade block. That's fine. So, forwards. Stephen Weiss. So, nobody major. Defense is Colton Tuber, Brooks Orpik. And then in goal, Tuukka Rask, Devin Dubnyk. So, there's no major free agent signings to concern ourselves about. So, in a real-life scenario, that would make Patrick Kane that much more sought after. He's on an expiring contract as well. Oh man, New Jersey like barely has cap space. They are looking to trade this guy, Bush. He's 61 at 20 years old. He sucks. Wallin wasn't that good either. They are willing to trade their first this year, but not next. The Islanders, Tavares and Grabner still. Rangers don't work. The Flyers signed Voracek, or signed Couturier. They still have Voracek. We know Dumba's not very good. Not willing to trade that first next year. The Sharks. Wonder if Joe Thornton retired. Could get Marlowe, but that's not really the type of guy we're looking at. There is a dude named Peros. 67 overall at 19 years old, 3.5 green star. But they don't want to trade their first, so that doesn't work. Tampa. I don't think we want to trade for Griffin Reinhart and pay him $5 million. What about Jones? 68 at 21. It's not good enough. What about Giordano? 63 at 18. 4.5. Austin Giordano. Do they want to trade their first? Fuck. A team either has, yeah, we'll trade the pick. Yeah, we'll trade the prospect, but not both. And then Winnipeg still has Strong. How good is he now? Again, 75. I feel like it still has to be Winnipeg. I feel like it still has to be them because they have one of the, if not the best prospect available. Everyone else gets paid a buttload of money. How good's Frolov? Not it. How good is Vandermeer? McDonald? No. I don't see a way that I don't lose on this deal by getting rid of Kane. But again, look at his playoff performance the last 2 years. 30 games played, 12 points. What the hell am I paying you $12.5 million a season for? Which is a lot of money still in today's NHL. It was a hell of a lot more a decade ago. I'm going to lose value, but Patrick Kane is crippling this team. Strong and your seconds and thirds. I'll take out the thirds. Strong and 2 seconds for Patrick. You fucks. Strong, a second and 2/3. Strong and 2/3. You fucks. That's insane. That's insane. Straight up. Dude, they didn't even take Patrick Kane for Kirk Strong straight up. That's insane. I'm screwed. What the hell am I gonna do? It's gonna take a situation where it's like I go to Vancouver and acquire both Sedins at this rate. Which, funny enough, we've done before. I might have to do it again. It's that or like Patrick Marleau and have Marleau for the year. Looking at a dual trade for the Sedins. Maybe for Marleau. Philly, we could land Scott Hartnell. I mean, Hartnell would definitely provide some extra grit. Ooh, okay. All right, hold on. We actually have to consider this. So Vancouver, we get the Sedin swap. Philadelphia would be Hartnell and a first. I think we could swing that. San Jose, Marleau would be the primary piece. Ottawa wouldn't work. The Rangers wouldn't work. Islanders. Chris, good morning to you. Thank you for 52 months. Goodness gracious. How the heck are you? 52 months is absolutely insane, by the way. Thank you for an unbelievable amount of support. Holy hell. You caught me trying to trade Patrick Kane. All right. New Jersey is an option. Chris Kelly and picks. Jesus. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. No complaints outside of video game related complaints, which means I'm doing pretty good. Montreal would be Andre Markov in picks, which isn't ideal. Minnesota, Danny Heatley wouldn't be enough. They're way too far in debt. Detroit. Zetterberg or Cronwall, if not both. They do want to trade picks, but they don't really have any. Dallas is too far in debt. Colorado, no. Chicago, Patrick Sharp. They don't want to trade a pick, though, so that's not going to happen. Carolina, not going to happen. Okay. So Vancouver, it would be try to pull off the double swap for the Sedins again, which we already did, but it is very funny. It would have to be Kane and somebody else to get the deal to go through. They don't want Kessel. They would want Markstrom. It's like Kane and Markstrom for the Sedins and a little bit more is a possibility. As ridiculous as that sounds. Philadelphia, it would be Scotty Hartnell, who only has a year left. San Jose, it would have been Marlowe. Well, Marlowe has some physicality, though. Does it help us to get another sniper? It's kind of the whole reason why we're trading Kane. New Jersey. In terms of cap hit, it was Chris Kelly. He's a fine fourth line grinder at this stage, but it's primarily Kelly and their draft picks. Montreal was Markov, but we really don't need help on defense. He makes a shitload of money. And then Detroit was a combination of Zetterberg and Kronwall. I mean, Zetterberg as a playmaker, I mean, he's so well-rounded, though. Ship him to Buffalo. Buffalo's too deep in debt right now. They can't afford him. I mean, the most attractive option is bringing in the veterans of Zetterberg and Kronwall. But technically, I mean, that is more cap on two players. We could afford it. So right now, I got to be honest, I am leaning towards either New Jersey, Philadelphia, or Detroit, since we've done the double Sedin before. Zetterberg and Kronwall both have a year left after this upcoming season. They're both 36 years old. Kelly was 36, but only had a year left and doesn't make that much money. And then Hartnell had a year left, makes a decent amount of money. About the same as Kronwall, if not a little bit more. Could we work it out to be Zetterberg and Kronwall for Patrick Kane? It's close. The second round pick is a bit much. I think we can get it to go through. We know Salak isn't going to develop. Kane and Milan Salak. They'd go into negative balance if I were to trade them Kane. Why do you want to ship Kane? He is not clutch at all. Again, 30 playoff games over the last 2 seasons with us. He has 12 points. He just cannot get it done in the playoffs. Even though he put up 98 points in the regular season, he just disappears. And he makes $12.8 million, which again, modern times is a lot. 10 years ago was absurd. We're going to do it. Kane and Salak to Detroit for Zetterberg, Kronwall, and picks. Patrick Kane has been dealt. I didn't really see that coming, but I do feel like it's for the best. The next question is, do we hand off this team to Storm Phaneuf? And I got to be honest, I think the best thing to do is to keep Markstrom for now. Salak had a really low overall. He wasn't going to develop. The best thing to do right now is to keep Phaneuf, play him as the starter, and see if he can put up great numbers. If he can, move Markstrom to free up that cap space. If he can't, at least then we still have Markstrom, and all of a sudden it won't be, oh my god, what do we do? So I feel like we're in a decent spot in that regard. I still think I probably want to move on from Phil Kessel. But we have $4 million right now. I want to go back to the free agent list. Forwards are the big concern. Steven Weiss. Doesn't it show player type? Apparently not. It's showing us with $2 million in cap space. So, I mean, Weiss is a playmaker. I feel like we can fill out the roster. Once prices drop, there'll still be players there. We're still going to have some work to do. We do still have some RFAs. But yeah, we are in A weird spot where somehow trading Patrick Kane wasn't the worst idea in the world. And I don't know how we got there. But that is what happened. And we do still have someone like Tyler Ennis on the team. We do still have a pretty decent team. I'd love to trade Martin Havlat. He was also terrible in the playoffs. There are quite a few guys that we picked up to try and put the team over the edge, where I feel like if we get rid of them now, kind of cash out, we'll be in a better spot moving forward. But I feel like these last 2 seasons were the big push, and now we're kind of dealing with the aftermath. Why NHL 13 specifically? We started on NHL 11, and are just going through all the old games. We started on 11 because it was the first year of the CHL, the 3 junior leagues being in the game and in franchise mode. So, but yeah, we started on 11 and went through 12 as well. YouTube side of things, there's a good portion of the 11 series that's being uploaded on a daily basis. A 3rd round pick for, I believe that's Andrew Murray, and it is.
I'm just trying to walk through this fucking
Got
grass.
the big white for the follow, by the way. He is a 67 overall. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a grinder for the 4th line, but not at a 67 overall. Holy God. I can do better than that. We're not trading Sam Reinhart. I'm willing to see what offers we get if we get a deal for Kessel or someone like that, but yeah. Reinhart and Goodbranson, for considering I traded you, Kruger? No. You already have your tough guy for the 4th line. I sure do. Ennis, Helm, and Robinson for a 1st and Tim Connolly. So obviously Tyler Ennis was another one of those guys that we picked up. He was okay in the playoffs after a good regular season, but not amazing. Abraham Helm is a pretty promising prospect. I think he could make it. And then Wes Robinson, kind of shit. For a 1st and Tim Connolly. Tim Connolly's an 82 overall playmaker. He's a veteran. So it's kind of Connolly trying to replace Ennis. I got to be honest, I don't think that's worth it. It frees up cap space, but I don't think that one's particularly worth it. If they were asking for a lesser prospect. Garrett Wilson accepted his qualifying offer. That brings our cap down to 1.7. So we have even less cap space to work with. Eric Goodbranson is still an RFA. 2 seconds and Brian Bickle for a prospect named Marco Ulrich, who is not very good. That's a no. That is a no. So yeah, we just have to hope right now that Goodbranson doesn't get an offer sheet. Berglund was kind of a bust for us. Kulikov, someone I really don't want to get rid of. I'm going to say no. Just because it's Kulikov. Imagine skipping on Lars Ulrich's son while a Metallica song is playing, no less. I'm a real piece of shit. Is there a way to see the NHL 12? So that'll be uploaded after the 11 is done. Technically, the VODs here on Twitch should be up that you could go back to. We started on this a couple of days ago, but it should be relatively easy to find. And man, people really want Reinhart and Goodbranson, which tells me absolutely not. They're not going anywhere. Maybe they're trying to take advantage of the fact that Goodbranson's an RFA. But if that's the case, just offer sheet the guy. You know? But yeah, I'm willing to keep the block open and have this part of the process go a little bit more slowly. Just in case we get deals that we might like, which is looking unlikely. 59 wins, up 3-1 in the first round of Toronto, and we lose in Game 7. Unbelievable. You can trade for RFAs in this game, yes. Yeah, Goodbranson's an RFA. That's why teams are offering me contracts or trades left and right. They want to be able to negotiate the terms on it. Literally everyone is offering me deals for Reinhart and Goodbranson. Kulikov for Barrett Jackman and 2 picks. That's a no. Toronto came back from 3-1, the irony. Against a Bruins fan, no less. Funny how that works out, isn't it? Tyler Ennis for Dennis Seidenberg in a 4th. I love me some of the German hammer. I mean, in terms of getting another defenseman who could be a defensive stalwart, it's not bad. The big question is, do we need another defenseman? The answer is probably no, but I'm also not done maneuvering this defense around. And I feel like we can do better with filler forwards than filler defensemen. And again, Ennis didn't do shit for us. I'm actually going to take this. Tyler Ennis for Dennis Seidenberg in a 4th. I want that extra defensive option. It also frees up some cap space. There's a chance that we will end up flipping Seidenberg or a different defenseman. But really good offensive defensemen seem to be a major, major rarity in this game. So I'd rather pay a defensive defenseman $3 million than pay an offensive defenseman $5 million. So, TBC's videos in this game are classic. They were. Even I was watching old Johnny around this time. So, I've always told the story. On his first channel, the reason why he ended up making 2BC Productions 2BC is because he got hit with copyright strikes for doing music video style content, like highlight reels. And one of those highlight reels was to a Billy Talent song. And that's what introduced me to Billy Talent. Well, reintroduced me. I'd heard like Red Flag on the NHL 06 soundtrack, but never really explored their discography until that happened. So, thanks, Johnny. Garrett Wilson from Mike Camilleri. Now, Mike Camilleri makes a shitload of money. Garrett Wilson has typically been decent for us. Camilleri is obviously 35 years old. He doesn't put up a significant amount of points. I gotta be honest, I don't think I'm taking that. Islanders offer sheeted Kyle Palmieri, so Goodbranson might not be safe for too much longer. That's not good. Reinhart and Goodbranson, that's not happening. I want to get to the start of the season, or start of the preseason, and kind of see what our situation is, but it doesn't look like it's going to be an overly positive one. I feel like it's the best way to put it. Still going to have moves to make. I might live to regret trading Patrick Kane. I really thought we would be able to start tomorrow in NHL 14, but again, we don't move on until we win. And despite an incredible last season, we didn't win. So, Severson for Kamala and Ward. No, I want to keep Damon Severson. One of the few young players who IRL actually had potential that did develop in franchise. Again, this mode has been god-awful. Absolutely god-awful for prospect development. Like, I can't believe how many players, like, even at the time, that would have been up there in, like, TSN's rankings, where they're just like, nope, they're trash. And we're not going to give them good ratings. But then again, EA have been doing that for 2 decades, which is why I became obsessed with roster editing, because it bothered the shit out of me when I was a kid. Bothers the shit out of me now. But hey, no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. We can have Connor McDavid with Patrice Bergeron level defense. Don't worry, it's cool. Don't worry about it. Wilson for Camilleri. I am not accepting that trade. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. My goodness. Dude, Reinhart and Goodbranson, these teams will just not stop. It's crazy. These teams just won't quit. Maybe I should shut down the... given I haven't gotten a single trade offer for Kessel, I feel like I should probably clear out the trade block so we can at least get to the start of the preseason before next July. So I have been holding the stop simulation button for about 30 seconds. Here we go. All right, let's clear that out. Or hit the wrong button. Oh my God, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please. Thank you. Jesus. Okay. All right. Let me get to the start of the preseason We know we're going to have to check the free agent list to fill out the roster, just like we did last year. We know how this works. We know. So, we'll get there. Erica Branson, still an RFA. Guess what, Eric? We still don't have the money to pay you. At least not at the moment. Not without a freaking follow-up trade. Oh, Chris, isn't the sim speed amazing? It's great. This is as fast as it goes. Again, there used to be the old trick of installing the game to your hard drive to make it go faster. LOL, it doesn't. Because I do have it installed to my hard drive. This is as fast as it goes. So, but again, the word is it's a little bit better on NHL 14, which is why it would have been great to get to NHL 14, but no. We had to blow it in the playoffs to friggin' Toronto. It doesn't make sense. I can't believe nobody offer sheeted Erica Branson. Everyone was willing to trade for him, but... Oh, good. This is going to be my 7th year? Good. That doesn't make me depressed. God. Well, again, at least we know goaltending-wise, Storm Phaneuf will be the starter. We'll hold on to Markstrom until Storm proves himself. Defense is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with Petrovich. Again, like Aaron Ekblad's only a 60. So we do have at least one defenseman that we can move out, should we need to. But 3 defensemen at least an 85. I mean, this is a pretty fucking solid defense. And then forwards, we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Obviously, like, a bunch of random dudes will end up being the filler for this team. But... you know, Klesla's still leading the way. Kessel. Now we got Zetterberg, Perron. It's just a mishmash, a smorgasbord of Borg. Who knows? Of dudes, as we can max out our player development, which will be nice. So yeah, tomorrow when we kick off on this, it's going to be, for the love of God, can I find trades? I might even try to make some of these trades off stream, just to be like, all right, here's what we did. Because there's a chance Kessel could still be moved. I have to take a look up and down this entire organizational roster and try to figure out our best path forward.